Parivrajakacaryastu Tarasarasri Srimad Chananagari Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 31, text number 5. Narada instructs the Prachetas. Etatte vihitam chattar yanmam tvam pariprishtavan prachetasam naradasya sambadam harikirtanam yatatte vihitam chattar yanmam tvam pariprishtavan prachetasam naradasya sambadam harikirtanam etatte vihitam chattar yanmam tvam pariprishtavan prachetasam naradasya sambadam harikirtanam etatte vihitam vihitam satya yanmam tvam pariprishtavan prachetasam naradasya sambadam harikirtanam etatte vihitam chattar yanmam tvam pariprishtavan prachetasam naradasya sambadam harikirtanam etatte vihitam chattar mam tatte pariprishtavan prachetasam naradasya sambadam harikirtanam. All right. Etat, this, te, unto you, avehitam, instructed, chattaha, O Vidura, yat, whatever, mam, unto me, tvam, you, pariprishtavan, inquired, prachetasam, of the prachetas, naradasya, of Narada, sambadam, conversation, harikirtanam, describing the glories of the Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear Vidura, I have told you everything you wanted to know about the conversation between Narada and the Prachetas. The conversation describing the glories of the Lord, I have related this as far as possible. Please repeat. My dear Vidura, I have told you everything you wanted to know about the conversation between Narada and Prachitas. The conversation describing the glories of the Lord. I have related this as far as possible. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam describes the glories of the Lord and his devotees because the whole subject matter is the glorification of the Lord. Naturally, the glorification of his devotees automatically follows. Short purport. There is no purport on 20. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Let's do 26 also. Sri Sukha Uvacha Esa Uttana Pado Manavasyanuvarnitah Vamsaha Priyabratasyape Niboda Niripasattama. Sukadeva Goswami continued, O best of kings, King Parikshit, I have now finished telling about the descendants of the first son of Swayambhuva Manu, Uttanapad. I shall now try to relate the activities of the descendants of Priyavrata, the second son of Swayambhuva Manu. Please hear them attentively. Purport. Dhruva Maharaj was the son of King Uttanapad, and as far as the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj or King Uttanapad are concerned, their activities have been described up to the point of the Prachitas. Now, Sri Sukadeva Goswami desires to describe the descendants of Maharaj Priyabrata, the second son of Swayambhuva Manu. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanusute Deve Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpataru Viksha Kripa Sindhu Bhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Mugam Karoti Vachalam Pangolam Gayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Sri Gurun Dinatarinam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Simate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschatya Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Sukha Uvacha Esha Uttanapado Manavasyanuvarnitah Vamsaha Priyabratasyape Niboda Nripasattama. Two conversations running here side by side. Originally, Sukadev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj, and Maitreya and Viduraji also discussing about the pastimes. Same things. So Narada Muni's job is to bring everyone into the devotion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These Puranas, they explain the descendant of Bamsa. Bamsa means some family descendants, great kings, their followers, how they live their life. And the meaning of Purana means is very old and ancient, but it is always relevant in all time. So whatever Prachatas did, whatever they inquired from Narad Muni, long ago, it is still applicable in modern days life too. It is never end, never old. It's always remain fresh and applicable, relevant at all times. That is the meaning of Purana. And Puranas, they simplify the Vedas in an easier way. That what does Vedas mean? What do they mean about some topic of a spiritual life? And they explain in a simplified way so that common people, normal people, they can follow and practice in their daily life. So normally people, even if they are not devotee, they do not take up Krishna consciousness, they still do the same things, Sravana, Kirtana, Smarana, three things, very major things that we always focus and discuss in devotional life. People normally want to talk about their childhood pastimes, their families' glories, about themselves. They always want to tell the story about themselves to other people. That's what we hear all day long, from morning to evening and everywhere. Like if you go to some marriage party or any gathering, people always want to talk about themselves or somebody else talk and then we listen them. So Kirtan, we want to do Kirtan of our own. And we hear that this is Sravana, and Kirtana means we glorifying ourselves. And Smaranam means we always remember our own life. What happened to us? How was our childhood? How was our life? And all time people engage, they basically do the same thing. It's nothing different. But here, Narada Muni is trying to highlight the importance of Kirtan, or importance of glorification of God, how it is different from glorifying our own self. So he want to just divert the topic, bring our attention from our personal glorification to God's glorification. So if we go back to Bhagavatam Canto 3, when Kapila Dev was describing the glories of devotional service, there he talks about it very clearly that Lord Sri Krishna is worth glorifying. And anyone who engages in the glorification of God, means devotees of Lord, are also worth glorifying. Because they are engaged in glorifying the Supreme Lord, their glories are also heard in the history. So this is what here we are hearing about the Prachetas, how they were engaged in remembrance of the Supreme Lord from Narada Muni, and we are still doing the same thing. So Kapila Dev explained that Kirtanya Tirtha Yasasam Punya Sloka Yasaskaram. So when one is engaged in talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, glorifying about the Lord, or spreading His glories to the people, public people, or outside, that kind of activities enhance the glories of devotees as well. So therefore it says that Dhyayat Devam Samangrangam. So one should meditate on the Supreme Lord along with all his paraphernalia, like Samangra Angam, like Angam. Angam means his devotees, his pastimes, his his form, his beauties, all these qualities of the Lord. When we focus and meditate on Him, then that will bring our mind. That will bring our mind to the fixed condition, situation. Our mind becomes fixed when we continuously hear the pastime of the Lord, when we hear the glories of the Lord, or when we discuss the glories of the Lord among the devotees for a long time, in engaging our senses, our mind, our intelligence, then that will help us, our mind, to be fixed and then steady. Nistha, the determination comes when we continuously hear about the glories of the Lord. But in the material world, people, instead of doing these activities, they want to perform, or they want to engage in their own glorification. But the thing is that they mainly focus on the bodily concept of glorification. And at some point the body dies. The body dies. It is not eternal. And the mind always keeps looking something more and more, because we always focus on temporary things, and that can never satisfy the mind. As long as the mind finds something which is eternal, which is very beautiful, which is full of knowledge, which is full of all good qualities, the mind can never become stopped at some point, and it flickers, it just moves around. So that is why we celebrate the birthday of the Lord, Appearance Day, because it is worth of celebrating, because the Lord never dies. He is an eternal being. And we discuss about his pastime every day. We hear about him, how he created this material world, what are his different energies that works in this world, how can we relate ourselves with him, all kind of knowledge that we learn every day that helps us to know the Lord more and more. And when the mind grasps the eternal personality and its qualities, then only mind gets satisfied. So this is the nature of the mind. He always wants something which is eternal and beautiful. So when that same search or same quest is in this material world, we run after beautiful people, beautiful woman, beautiful this and that, which keeps changing, and our mind keeps running around here and there. It never gets satisfied. So that was what Kapila Dev was teaching, that Kirtaya Tirtha is asam, when the Lord is worth glorifying in this material world because of his all these eternal qualities, never fade away. But when we divert that glorification into this material world, it always keeps changing, and it is not always eternal. It's always going on and on, changing. And in order to glorify the Lord and pacify our mind, we must have some love for Him. Bhaktya aham ekaya grahya. The devotion is the only thing. Ekaham. Bhaktya aham ekaya grahya. Shraddhayatma priya satam. There are so many processes of self-realization, Bhakti yoga, Jnana yoga, Karma yoga, all kind of steps. People can realize God in Jnana yoga too. They might understand some kind of impersonal realization of the Lord. So they can feel some kind of peace in their practice. People can feel the presence of God by carrying some duties and then fulfilling the responsibilities. And yogi can feel the presence of the Supreme Lord within their heart, but Krishna can personally be manifested to those devotees who are focusing wholeheartedly on Him by devotion. Ekaya. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says at the end that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Eka Saranam Braja. Eka means only to me, not anybody else. We can go so many diverse places and diverse personalities and put our faith and Shraddha in worshipping so many demigods. But that activities of dividing our faith into so many demigods or running in so many different areas and trying to attain God or try to understand God might bring us some kind of realization, but not complete and full realization. So here he says that Bhaktyam ekaya grahya. And then we must have Shraddha, the Shraddhayatma priya satam. That the Lord is very dear to those pure devotees who do have unflinching faith on God, and they only glorify Him with their complete, full devotion. And when one engage in this way, so again, this devotion will completely purify the mind. Bhakti punati man nistha. It completely purifies one's mind, and it brings the unwavering faith, unshaking faith. Like a lot of time we have our faith is always like very komal. Komal faith means soft, very tender faith. If something, when we hear something about somebody, then we lose faith. Oh yeah, I thought this person is a great devotee, but I know that he is a bad person, so I don't want to practice Krishna consciousness. I will go somewhere else. So this kind of flickering faith will be fixed by this devotion of the Lord, because it purifies the mind. And then no matter what happens, but you always maintain your faith. Our thought may be startled. Our concept, we might have some doubt, but our faith should always remain whatever happens in our devotional life. If this process of devotional service should be understood like it is a best process, but maybe I am not following properly. So it may be that is a problem, not the process. So when we perform this Ekaha Bhakti to the Supreme Lord, then this determination comes in our mind. It purifies our mind very quickly. And that is what all the acharyas focusing on this verse, that Bhaktiham ekaya grahya. Jiva Goswami mentioned that Krishna is our only object of worship, nobody else. So in order to come to this position, it takes time. People cannot come right at once and then fix their mind only in devotional service. So that's why we see so many varieties of people in this world. They explain devotional service in different ways. And because of the so much unlimited material desires, and then they always go here and there, and they can never understand the position of the Supreme Lord. And instead of doing bhakti, they may be committing offenses to the lotus feet of the Lord. Somebody conclude that the Lord has no form. Some people may conclude that whatever duties and responsibility you do, that alone is the worship. Some people think that so many other ways, ideas, different ideas comes when they lack the understanding that the Supreme Lord alone is the worship of the object of worship. Satatam kirtayantu mam. My kirtan at all time. Ananyas chintayantu mam. Ananyas chintayantu mam. So without having any other thought in our mind that Krishna alone is the Supreme Lord. So when a devotee come and reach to this stage of understanding, then that person become very dear to Krishna. Krishna personally favors that person. Yogis and Gyanis, they realize the presence of the Lord in a secondary way. They feel the peace, they feel the Lord, they understand the existence, they see the Lord is all in all acting. But for the devotees who have this one pointed focus on Him and then engage for His glorification, then Krishna personally appears before them. This is different, right? When we receive some indirect benefit from the government, and we personally see the president. Like, for example, government is giving some benefit to the public people, depositing some money to your account. Everybody receive it. $2,000 or $5,000 or $1,000. During the COVID time, we got some money. You remember? Now, you have a relationship with that person, and then you got chance to see the person in Oval Office, talking to the person face to face. So that would be much better. So this is what happened when devotees have this devotion to the Supreme Lord. Krishna personally favors them, personally comes to them, and personally takes care of them. So this very intimate exchange with the Lord is possible only by bhaktyaham ekaya grahya. And shraddhaya atma priya satam, shraddhaya atma. So our shraddha sometimes can be examined. It can be difficult. So people, devotee can lose faith sometimes. A lot of devotees lose their faith. Many years practicing devotional service, that something happens and they completely lose the faith, and they write so many things in the social media, and they express how they were mistreated or something like that. The people lose faith because when we hear something negative about somebody, or basically gossiping things, when we engage our time to listen gossip, or we try to look some negative aspect of people's, and we pay attention to those, And slowly our faith becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. And at some point, we might completely lose the faith. And instead of doing Vaishnava Seva, which is one of the very important aspect of our bhakti, and we might be away from devotees, and we might start criticizing devotees, and we might find so many reasoning to see that negative sides. And this is how we lose our faith. And when we lose our faith, we are again under the control of Maya. That is what exactly the job of Maya. So as long as we glorify God, as long as we spread the glories of God, or we hear this beautiful pastime of the Lord and His devotees, that nourishes our faith every day. No matter what happened to me, but I will not lose my devotion. I will not listen to this Maya's plan. I will not listen to the world. I listen to what Bhagavatam says. I listen to what Srimad Bhagavad Gita says. I listen what Srila Prabhupada says. I listen what every devotee says. This is how we make our faith strong. So this continuous hearing is always required with faith. And Krishna says, Bhaktyam ekaya grahya sradayatma priya satam bhakti punati manistha. So what is the result of that when our mind is purified and we have that very strong determination, our Shraddha is strong, and we are engaged in this devotion. So even Supakan api sambhavat, even a dog-eater person can become a pure devotee. That is the power of devotional service. It doesn't have to be, one does not have to be born in a high family to perform devotional service. If you hear that Srimad Bhagavatam, the very first prayers are presented by a woman. Who is that beautiful, fortunate woman to offer the prayers to the Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam? The very first prayers. Who is that woman? Can somebody remember? Who said Kunti? Jamuna? Yeah, that's correct. Kunti Maharani. In Jnana Yoga, people don't give importance, priority to the woman. In Veda, they say that women are not allowed to chant Gayatri mantras. You see? Women are not allowed to sit in a Vyasasana and speak about the God. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, it completely rejects all this kind of conception. And then anyone who has pure heart can offer the best prayer to the Lord. And as a result, Kunti Maharani was offering those prayers and kept in Srimad Bhagavatam in the very first prayers. See how Srimad Bhagavatam is different from other literatures. So when one comes in devotional service purifies the quality of God, the power of God. Because Krishna really likes someone personally glorifies him. Krishna really likes we establish personal relationship with him. He becomes really attractive because he is a person. He has all kind of feeling and emotions like we have. We do not want like distance relationship. We do not want in our relationship, we want close, we want to talk about ourselves, we want to glorify ourselves, we want to appreciate each other. So that same feeling, Krishna also has it. That's why he's a person. He's not a power. He is definitely a power, but more than power, he is a person with full of emotion, feeling, sentiment, and everything. It's very, very
Interesting that only devotees can have this. Only devotees can have this relationship with the Lord. Material people, other Gyani Karmi, sometimes they might lose that faith because they have not that personal presence of the Lord in their life. They only feel some kind of uh, shadow presence of the Lord. Seeing a shadow, when little kids, when they walk, sometimes they see that their own shadow, little babies, they scare and they cry. I have seen some video. They do not know that who is that shadow is. But devotees, they are not after shadow. They are not after some kind of cloudy realization. They do not. They are not after some kind of peaceful state of mind. They actively, personally engage in Krishna's pastimes. They talk to the Lord. They feel His presence in their life, and they develop that more and more. And Krishna from within helps those devotees who want to develop that personal relationship, and He helped manifesting His Smaran Rupa Lila Guna. So we are turning that Kirtan Smarana, is Smaranam, Kirtanam, Sravanam. These three things, we now removing ourselves from the picture, we establish Krishna in the picture. The whole paradigm shift from ourselves to Krishna, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, then that is long lasting, that will last forever. That will satisfy the mind, and that will fix the mind. And once mind is satisfied, mind is happy, then we can continue the same job for a long time because we are getting rasa, mellow. So this mellow is not there in the material world. When we divert this glorification, Smaran, Kirtan to our temporary body, to our relatives, to our family ancestors, as descendants of our family, to our physical beauty, all this does not last long. So when one understands this fact, we can engage our mind, we can satisfy our mind in devotional service. Because mind is always looking after something better, something better, something better, better, and then nothing is better than Krishna. So this new year hopefully bring us more closer to God, Lord Sri Krishna, and to His service. Then our desire to be glorified is also fulfilled. When one glorifies God, He will be glorified. The whole world will remember Him. Just take the example of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All he did is he just glorified God, and he brought Krishna to everyone's life all over the world. And as a result of that, the whole world, at least within the ISKCON community, everybody glorifies Prabhupada. This is the direct example of how we can be glorified, by glorifying Krishna. So this is what Nardamani is doing. His job is always to glorify, and Prachadas, they really enjoyed. They were great family descendant in Uttanapad family. Uttanapad was the first son of Swayambhuva Manu. Now we hear more about Priyavrata Maharaj. in coming slokas. And all of them, they always set up a good example so that we can learn the lesson from them. And we can live our life. Yad yad acharati sreshtas tat tat eve taro janaha. So whatever great people do, the common people follow. So we can be the pioneering to coming generation, that continue this tradition of hearing the glories of God, and that alone can satisfy our restless mind, and ultimately we can return back home, back to God. This is very possible, no matter how our birth is. Just even a dog eater can be purified. That's what here Krishna says. Bhaktyam ekaya grahya sraddhayatma priya satam bhakti punati mannista supakan api sambhavan. Sambhavan means possible. Even a dog eater, a lowest of mankind, can situate himself in the highest position of a Vaishnava by engaging in devotional service. Otherwise, if we remove Krishna in our life, then we do not have any qualities. We return to the same job like all the materialistic people do. But there may be so many challenges on the path of devotional service, because Maya will not leave us alone. She always tests. Her business is disturbed. You are hindering her job, that you are trying to become the devotee of the Lord. So if we are not careful enough in examining ourselves, then we may be victimized by Maya. So as long as we remain within the intact association of the devotees, and we continue our bhakti, we will speed up our devotional activities. We need to speed up. We cannot be always in the same slow pace and same all doing the same thing as a duty with no any enthusiasm, any spirit in it. Then we remain in the same position. We never progress. We need to progress in devotional service. We need to update ourselves and always speed up. So that will definitely help us in achieving love of God. Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema Sadhya. Krishna Prema Siddhya. Krishna Prema Nitya Siddhya. Nitya Siddhya Krishna Prema Sadhya Kavunai. Sravanadi Suddha Chitte Karo Udai. Karo Udai. Yeah. Their love of God is already within the heart of the living being. It is in a dormant state. It has been covered by so many layers of illusion. But now, by the process of Sravana and Kirtana of the Supreme Lord, it has to be remanifested from the heart. So this is the goal. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any question, any comments? Yes.
Okay. I thought somebody was behind me now.
Shishi Gaur ki.
So it's kind of a paradox that at one point you said how we're trying to become devotees, so we're impeding Maya's job, is to keep everybody in illusion. But she's a great devotee, so isn't she also happy we're becoming devotees too? What's the deal?
She's a devotee of the Lord, but she has a different, very complicated role in becoming the devotee. Those who want to forget God, she wants to give them some job. And she wants to keep them happy in illusion. So that's what Maya is. Something which is not, but we think that is what it is. So as long as she keeps living being, be fool and remain and then give them job in this world, it's like she always creates confusion, and then she wants to see how strong or determined or mature we are. So, and we fall victim in her even small, tiny effort to confuse us. The fight among the devotees, the misunderstanding things, the fault finding things. And if we are materially motivated, I am spending so many years, but I'm not getting anything, all kind of doubts. They comes in our mind. This is how she tricks us. So that will not bring that mind into the manistha, is a faith, firm faith. So she's assisting Lord in fulfilling living entity's desire to be away from the Lord and the desire to enjoy in this world without the Lord. So she is facilitating and enhancing those desires of the living entities. But if one is completely aware about her and awakened from illusion, and those devotees, even if she tries, they will not be affected. So she respected your devotees at the same time. But she keeps trying. Prabhupada says Maya's last snare. She always works on it. She never give up. Never give up.
We hear that finally she congratulates us.
Yeah, if we are successful.
If we pass the test. Yeah, otherwise she's always looking for the weakness. Okay.
Now you're talking about, like sometimes we can lose faith, like lose Shraddha. But oftentimes it's not that people lose it, but it might weaken. So it's like the faith has sort of gone down. So the illusory energy becomes more dominant than so it seems like there's always a battle between the illusion and the faith.
Yeah.
And of course, whichever one is dominant is the one that we're enthusiastic about or we're stuck with.
When our faith is weakening, then if we continue that wrong hearing or wrong association with the weakening faith, then ultimately that can rise to complete losing state. But if we keep continuing having good association, so association has been given a big importance in anywhere, in bhakti, in everywhere, association is important. That's why in Chaitanya Charitamrita is also saying the same thing. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaya. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. So as long as we maintain this strong association, then even if our faith, when it weakens sometime, it can come back. But in that state of weakening our mind, and we lose the faith, and slowly we distance ourselves from the devotees, then it might die, or it might completely gone. So instead of doing Vaishnava Seva, we go away from Vaishnavas. And we start reasoning, arguing, logic, so many give logic, and we try to prove that I am good. What I think is better. So see, this is how the Maya works on it.
Okay, so, I mean, of course, association, connection, and reading and hearing and chanting strengthens our faith, but also, like you were saying, people like to talk about themselves or focus on their own lives. So at the same time, we have a personal relationship with Krishna. So we pray to Krishna to help us, and then Krishna reveals to us personally in some way or another that helps our faith. Correct?
Yeah, that revelation happens only when we have bhaktiya ekaya kraya. When we only think of Krishna, nothing else. So if we divide our belief to 50% to Krishna, 20% to Brihaspati, 25% to Ganesha, 17% to Hanuman. Hanuman is devotee, is great. Yes. So that is not ekaya, it's not like one, So what we are practicing is, we are trying to establish Krishna in our heart alone. And when we do that, then we see every other personalities are his assistants, his servant. Ekaya, Ekala, Isura, Krishna, are Sabha Vritya. So this understanding helps us to make our strong faith very strong. Shraddhavan jana hai, Shraddhavan jana. You see, all Vaishnava songs, faithful people. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan, Pathiyache Namahat Jibere Karan. Shraddhavan jana hai, Shraddhavan jan, Pathiyache Namahat Jibere Karan. So yes, that faith is very Hare Krishna. Anything else? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande.